Today on WBTV, we are going to be continuing from where we left off last week with our ultimate survivor's guide, or complete survivor's guide to Dead by Daylight. We are going to be talking about how you can transfer your gameplay into ranking up in the game. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
So last video, we told you basically all the basics of how to chase, how to do that better, how to save, how to heal, all the basics of the game. But now, we're going to teach you how to apply that and balance everything so you can pip and rank up and get better.
Yeah, so the one word that Blake said that's the most important there is balance. So the golden rule that I try to play by every time I play Dead by Daylight is, in order to pip, you need to work on 2 generators, you need to get 2 unhooks, and you need to get in 2 good chases. And that is guaranteed you're gonna pip. You might even double pip from that. I mean, obviously...
Or at least safety, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, not every game that's possible. Some of the games you get chased all game. Some games the killer's really bad and you don't get an opportunity to get any ultra wisdom. But I guess that's what we should talk about first, is how the different thingies and how those work. So there's 4 different emblems in the game. There are benevolent, ultra wisdom, objective, boldness. So the way that the points apply, simply think of objective as anything you do. So you get objective points for opening up chests, completing generators.
Also, I think the 4th isn't actually benevolent. I think it's survival.
Yeah, so objective is simple as, like, you get objective points by completing generators, you get objective points by opening up chests, you get objective points from opening up doors, everything to do with that. Then you move on to evader points, which is simply, or boldness, which is simply chases. So, and the only other thing that you can get evader from is doing totems. So you get them from doing totems and getting in chases.
You can also get them from entering basement and just avoiding the killer. Like if you stay in the killer's terror radius, but they don't find you, or you're in the killer's terror radius for an extended period of time, 30 seconds later, you will get given those points to you. You will get given those boldness points and those evader points so you can rank up.
And I think you get given boldness points for saboing as well, don't you?
Yes, for sabotaging hooks.
Yeah. And
specifically with boldness as well, how it works is every time you are in a chase, for the next 30 seconds after you're in a chase, or every 30 seconds, every 15 seconds, it will redeem more points, more evader points, more boldness points. So the longer you are in a chase, the more points you are making. And on top of that, if you get out of the chase and get a successful chase, those points that you accumulated are then multiplied. However, if you get downed and get caught and you have a failed chase where you didn't escape, then you just get the points for how long you stalled the killer for.
So this is why if the killer is AFK and you see people farming, people will try to get close to the killer and then get far away. And that's because when they get close to the killer and they stay there, they're in their terror radius, they're collecting boldness points. And then when they move far away, those boldness points are doubled that they collected from being close to the killer. So basically, you get more points for surviving a chase than you do for getting downed, which is, I mean, obviously you would.
Yeah, so that is why you want to improve on your chases and learn how to evade the killer. They also, a while ago, added that just vaulting gives you boldness points in a chase, and dropping a pallet on a killer, aka a pallet stun, will give you a large sum of boldness points as well.
Yeah, so boldness, I would say the best way to collect your boldness points is honestly, if you haven't been chased all game, put yourself in a chase, or put yourself close to the killer so you can at least collect some boldness points. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, then try to cleanse as many totems as possible, because as we said, balance is the most important. You want to get an equal number in each one of these categories, so that's the easiest way to collect boldness.
Another thing as well is, say your teammate is in a chase and they have been being tunneled the entire game. You can go ahead and find them, talk to them if you're on comms, and go to them and try taking a hit for them. And then once you're injured, hopefully the killer will aggro you now, so you have now initiated a chase with the killer, so you get yourself more boldness points, and you've taken the aggro off of your teammate, who is going to get downed and maybe killed on his next hook, or he's been tunneled the entire time. So you give your teammate an opportunity to go heal, and then work on generators, so get other objective points, and you also get bonus points for yourself. And this is a great segue into altruism, because if someone is being chased, or if you are right beside a hook, or right beside an injured survivor, and the killer goes to hit them, but you take a hit instead, you will get a protection hit, or a distraction, and you will get extra altruism points for something like that.
On top of that, you get altruism points for unhooking, but there are two different categories. So when you unhook somebody, you get altruism points for an unhook, but then I think it's like 30 seconds after that person is unhooked, if they are still up. So if you unhook and the person gets insta-downed and back on hook, you won't get this. But if you unhook safely and both of you are up, or the person you unhooked is left up, then you will get what is called a safe hook rescue. And the safe hook rescue is quite a bit more than the initial unhook in points. So this is why when you're making an unhook, you want to make sure that you are making a safe hook, because it's going to help benefit you, as well as making unsafe unhooks reflects badly not only on you but on your team. So you actually lose points for making unsafe unhooks.
Exactly. So how unhooks work is, every time a survivor is hooked, the entire team, the entire lobby, gets negative altruism points, and you can only gain those points back if you unhook them, and then you gain back those positive altruism points. So it basically is keeping your altruism at a net score of 0 for the team, so you always want to make sure you unhook, and you don't let the person get into the next stage. Because if you let someone get hooked twice, you get one hook out of it, so you make them, they get hooked once, and then they go to the second stage. So that's them getting hooked basically twice and only getting one unhook. You are now in the negatives for altruism. And if you were to make a bad unhook, instead of getting those points for a safe unhook, they get insta-downed, you get huge negatives for yourself. So if you're making a bad unhook, it's not just screwing over or trolling or being toxic to your team, it's screwing over you directly as well.
Yeah.
So,
and that is why making a safe unhook is not only important for you, but it's important for the rest of your team, because it doesn't only reflect badly on you, it reflects badly on everybody you're playing with. And then the other thing you get altruism for is healing. So you get a specific amount of altruism points for healing a full health state. So what a full health state is if the survivor is injured and you heal them from injured to fully healed, that's considered one health state. If the survivor is downed and you pick them up and then heal them to full healed, that would be considered healing a survivor 2 health states. So a best way to collect easy boldness points, easy altruism points, is to make an unhook and then heal the survivor, because that is basically acting as 2 actions in altruism, and that will guarantee you a silver emblem in altruism, which is easy to safety with the silver. Then finally on to survival. Now this one is the simplest, because the major thing that you get 5,000 points for surviving is if you escape through a door. That's how you get survival points. Now there are other things that do give you extra survival points. Healing yourself,
Yep.
Healing in a locker with the Nancy Inner Strength. And
reuniting with teammates as well is another one. So if you group up with teammates and reunite with them and start working together, you get survival points, as well as if you do cooperative generator work, it'll make that one generator go quicker, and you will get more blood points in objective since you are working on a generator with a teammate. And overall, this makes generators go slower, because if you were on two separate generators together, sure, it would take 10 seconds or 20 seconds slower for each individually. They'd both be getting done at the same time, instead of only one generator getting done 20 seconds quicker.
Yeah. So that is the easiest way to collect survival points, is escaping. So basically, the way that I look at it is, if you're not going to escape, and a lot of times it's pretty easy to tell at the beginning of a game if you're not going to escape, you need to compensate. So as we talked about at the beginning with balance, with all four of these emblems, you need, if you're going to get a low score in one emblem, you need to compensate by getting a high score, very high score, in another emblem. So for example, if the killer's AFK during the game and you're not going to get any boldness, you need to compensate by completing as many gens as possible to get a ridiculous amount of objective.
And this is where working on a generator with your teammates would also be valuable. Instead of every single person doing a generator individually, boom, 4 gens done. Now you physically can't get your 2.5 generators. But if everyone started stacking generators, 3 people do 1 generator, that basically counts as more than 1, because you had 2 other people doing cooperative actions with you to give you a multiplier on the objective points you get, and it also saves the generators left. So it's all about balancing your blood points and balancing how many points you have and balancing efficiency. So, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing to think about is if you were working on gens for the majority of the beginning of the game, you've popped 3 gens by yourself, and there's a teammate on hook, maybe you should get off the gen that you're working on and go unhook that teammate, because you have your objective for the game. Now it's time to try to get Ultra Wisdom, or to try to get Boldness, or other things like that to then balance out your game. Well, I guess finally, the emblems at the very end of the game, they light up and they tell you how you performed in the game. And you can either get bronze, silver, gold, or iridescent, or red. If you get 3 silvers and a gold, that's guaranteed a pip. All the time. 3 silvers and a gold is guaranteed a pip. So you need to balance that out by, if you get a 2 silvers, a gold, and a bronze, then you need an iridescent in one of those to make up for the fact that you lost in a bronze. So that is kind of what we were talking about balance. So eventually, after playing a while, you'll start to learn like what will give you what. But basically, the 2-2-2 method is guaranteeing you your 2 silvers and a gold. And what a gold in survival is going to be an escape. A silver in Ultra Wisdom is going to be 1 unhook and 1 heal. A gold in generators is going to be 2 generators and a chest. So that's pretty much like a simple way to look at it, to learn like how to get those emblems to where you need to be in order to pip at the end of the game.
And if you're an overachiever and you've gone into the higher ranks, it's going to be harder, and you're going to need more. You're going to need to do more, be more efficient, think more about balancing those blood points out, and you're going to need to dip into the reds more often if you're going to need to pip. You're going to have to get iridescent or a red in categories more and more. And if you have a near perfect game and you get 4 reds, you've completed more than enough gens, healed, unhooked, taken distraction hits, made successful chases, reunited with survivors, healed yourself, and escaped. You've done all of these things amazingly, and you get 4 reds. You almost guarantee yourself a double pip every single game, unless you have negative points somewhere else, or negative points from your team screwing you over.
Yeah, exactly. So as we kind of said, once you like learn how to apply these into your different categories, then it's pretty easy to tell. Like me and Blake can pretty easily tell when we play a game what's gonna happen before we get to the end. I mean, obviously there are those games where it's a surprise. You think it's a pip and it's a D rank. But you can. It's pretty easy to tell once you've reached the safety point, and once you've reached the safety point, you're pretty safe in the game to, you know, to kind of make a little bit more risky decisions because you know there's no chance of D rank. But other than that, telling where you've reached that safety point is probably one of the easiest things to start learning once you get into the game. So I guess that's it. Thank you guys for watching the Ultimate Dead by Daylight Survivor Guide. I hope this helped you. If you haven't seen last week's video we went all over the basic gameplay in Dead by Daylight, how to play as a survivor, how to maximize your resources and chases, what you should do while working on generators, how to safely unhook, how to safely open exit gates, everything like that. So definitely watch that video before you come back and watch this video. It will allow you to have a lot more understanding about what we're talking about today, and it will allow you to help applying both of these skills into what we're talking about today to learn the game. So thank you guys for watching this episode of WBTV. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your family, share it with your friends, share it with the guy at Freshco, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Oh, you know what we haven't done in 2020 yet?
Oh no.
One peach at a time. We're WAP, folks. Thank you guys for watching WBT. If you want to see more videos like this one, click the video on the right. If you want to see skits, click the video on the left. And make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video.